We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie, he's Mike. Welcome to our little corner of the podcasting universe. Hopefully you like the sound of our voices and you want to stick around for the show. Not that it stays in one place for long. I mean, after all, we are on the road with Mickey. So hop in the car and buckle up your seat belts because we've got an awesome adventure this week. Now a brief rundown before we get moving. First up, our roundtable talk where we'll discuss the main topic for this week, followed by some Disney trivia ranging from Disney history to a random Disney character of the day. Well, that's just about it. Everybody ready? Let's get this show on the road.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, also known as Tweedledum, and she's Sophie.
Also known as currently Sophie.
Yep, and we're on the road with Mickey. This is episode number 40 for October 12th, 2020. And our feature topic this week, is looking back at our experience last year with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So I think we've got a fun episode for you. But as always, before we get started, we wanted to go over some cheddar for the big cheese. And I've got a couple things, not a whole lot, but I got a few things. So I'll start us off, okay, Soph?
Okay.
All right. So, um, you know, last week we reported about how Josh D'Amaro was at Downtown Disney in California, and he was, you know, meeting with the cast members and expressing his sympathies and apologizing and stuff like that. Well, this week he was also at Walt Disney World. He went to all the different parks, and you know what? He did exactly what real leaders do. They empathize with those that are hurting. And every time I read an article about this, I'm more and more impressed by this guy. Um, so hopefully at some point in the future, things will turn around for Disney, and all the people that they had to let go will be brought back. And let's hoping that happens sooner rather than later. So,
Mm-hmm.
and Sophie, you want to get the next two?
Definitely. These ones are a lot more upbeat than the first one, and they are to do with the first one is to do with the re-normalizing of the parks after the pandemic, and that is going to be that Mickey Mouse and his friends will be returning to breakfast at Chef Mickey's starting on December 16th. I'm not sure if Chef Mickey's has been open or not, but if
Hey,
they
I'm not
have, they
sure if it is
haven't been
either.
doing character dining. We don't know because we did not go to the contemporary resort where Chef Mickey's is on our last trip.
Right.
And then another thing is it regards with shopdisney.com, and I don't know if you guys know, but Shop Disney is the current way to get all your Disney merchandise when you're in the parks and when you're not in the parks, because they sell everything that you can get there. And be on the lookout for a new Disney Kate Spade collection. I love Kate Spade. This one is called the Kate Spade Minnie Mouse collection. And I'm not quite sure what it entails, but it'll probably include some handbags, maybe some shoes if we're lucky.
Well, it's more on the purse and accessory side of that side.
Yeah.
So crossbody bags, wallets,
Mhm.
things like that, and all of them decked out with some really awesome Minnie Mouse um, stuff.
Mm. Yep.
So, and just a reminder, you can connect with us, and you can connect with us on our Facebook group, which is the On the Road with Mickey group. And you can connect with us on YouTube at our YouTube channel, also called On the Road with Mickey. You can email us at info@ontheroadwithmickey.com, or you can leave us a voicemail on our voicemail line of 911-919-799-8390, and we look forward to hearing from you. So please feel free to give us a shout out, reach out to us, ask us a question, and we'll be happy to answer it. Thanks. And now that's all the cheddar for the big cheese that I have for this week. So why don't we move on to our feature topic, Sophie? And we're looking back at our experience last year with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oh, yes, that was a very fun trip. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. So why don't you, Sophie, give us just a little bit of an overview about what the party's about?
Well, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a special exclusive event, and that means that on top of getting park tickets, you also have to buy a ticket for the event, and it takes place after hours. So usually when it's going on, the park will close earlier than it would normally. So say the park closes at midnight, well, it would close at like 6, maybe 4 even.
Yeah.
And
So
then
usually it closes at 6 and the party would start at 7. So,
Uh, yeah, so that's that. And then the party is something special because usually there is a rule that you cannot dress in costume when you're at the park for fear that you might confuse some of the other guests into thinking that you are part of the cast members. So that's not something that you can do. But then when the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party rolls around, you can actually dress as you would in the parks. Well,
mm-hmm.
not in the parks. You can dress as you would if you were going trick or treating, and there are many different stations to go trick or treating around the park, and they give you these massive amounts of candy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sophie. It's a neat event because it's limited in how many guests they sell tickets for on each night, and so you have fewer lines for some of the rides that are open. You also have the candy stations, and like you said, you can dress up. One of the things that's neat about it is that when the party starts at 7. But if you have a special ticket to use if you have a not so scary ticket, then you can enter the park starting at 4. And I think that's where you got the confusion about the park closing at 4. Um,
Oh.
so you can use that. And so if you are planning your trip, and you to be looking at going to the party, then that could be a day where you spend the morning maybe at your resort or shopping or something, and then just go to the park with your Halloween party ticket and not need to have a regular ticket as well as a Halloween party ticket. So, so that's just a little something to keep in mind. But for this event, we had never been before. I had been once with some of my Pixie travel agents, but Sophie and Cindy had never been. And
Nope.
so, and Jagan and Sheila and Randy hadn't been to the one at Walt Disney World, I don't think. They'd only been to the ones at Disneyland. So, so we talked it all out and we all decided, why don't we make this a fun long weekend and make a trip out of it and go to the party. And so that's what we did. And Sophie, why don't you go down the list and tell us who we were?
Yes. So the funny thing about it is that when I found out I was going to the Halloween party, I insisted on dressing up. I didn't expect anyone else to, but I was going to dress up. And I chose the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland because that's what I had in my closet. Everything I got for my costume, I got from my closet aside from like, well, 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then when Jagan found out that I was dressing up, she insisted on being Alice, and then her mom insisted on being the Queen of Hearts, and her dad got roped in as the Mad Hatter, and my parents got
Got
roped
roped in.
in.
Yes, we got roped in.
Yep.
And mommy was Tweedledum or Tweedledee, and I was Tweedledum. And and I am wearing my costume that I had on for the party. Um,
And now I feel severely underdressed.
the only thing that you're not seeing is I have my Tweedle, my little hat part with the flag that says "dumb" on it, and you can't pick that out because of the limitations of our technology. Um, but it's kind of cool. Let me see if you can see it if I take it off. There we go.
There it is.
So that's my Tweedledum.
Mhm.
And we had so much fun, and like Sophie said, she had most of the stuff that she needed. And for Cindy and I, we bought these hats at like Michael's or something, and we bought the stuff we needed to make the flags
And
and
the
the
bow
shirts
tie.
and the bow ties and the shirts. We already, we had one of them and we bought a second one. So really, there wasn't a whole lot of investment in our costumes. It was probably for the three of us, I would say probably $30 is what we spent for to round it out to make them into what we wanted. So it was really affordable to do.
And
And
that's my favorite thing about making your own costumes is that it's cheap and you can say that you did something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we had so much fun. It was such a great time because we were we had never done this. So we went to the parks from our cabin at Fort Wilderness, and we took pictures of everything, and we went and got our first big bag of candy, and they give you these starter bags with a whole bunch of candy in them, and then you just keep adding to them, and if it fills up too much, then you pour it into something else, and then you keep filling that up, and you just keep going and going and going, and you end up with enough candy to you get sick of it after a while probably.
And heads up, if you think you're not going to get that much candy at Disney, you are severely mistaken. You are going to be walking out of the park that night with 4 to 6 pounds of candy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's because some of the things that would normally be open as attractions, they've closed the attraction and they've made it into just a walkthrough for candy distribution. So, for instance, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor would normally be an attraction, and you would see the show. But in this case, you walk into the entrance, you walk through the theater, you get your candy, and then you walk out. And so there is no show. So it just allows things to move on. But the more popular rides that you would
Hmm.
want to ride are still are still open, like
Haunted
Space
Mansion, of
Space
course.
Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, a lot of the big ticket things that you would want to ride are really open. So,
Those three rides specifically. Wasn't
uh-huh.
there something different about them?
There was something different. Um so for the Haunted Mansion, since we're talking about Halloween, we'll talk about the Haunted Mansion first. And on the Haunted Mansion, they had the who was it? The
They,
Queen. No.
no, not the Queen. They had the Butler
Hmm.
and Lady Rosemary, and
Right.
those are two haunts that take up refuge in the Haunted Mansion. They are them and 997 others.
Right. And they outside on the front lawn as you were in line to go into the Haunted Mansion. So they were outside talking with us, and
Hmm.
talking with everyone, and they're really cool. And I wish I thought to find a picture of the ones that we took, but
Didn't didn't Aunt Sheila send us a picture?
I think she did. Um, let's see if we can find it.
Ah, there she is. I found it.
Okay. Okay. You want to make it your background real quick?
Yep. Hold on,
Okay.
you keep talking.
So, so they were outside talking with us, and they actually had a pretty good conversation with um with Sheila
And me.
and you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Oh,
and it was kind
whoops.
of cool. Oh, you just turn off your video?
Yeah, accidentally. Whoops.
But it
There
was
she
really neat.
is.
Yeah. So there she is. And it was just really neat to get that interaction with her.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of fun. And then the ride is just like normal as far as the ride goes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then um, down the road a little bit over at the Pirates of the Caribbean, what was neat about Pirates of the Caribbean is they actually had live pirates
On the
inside
ride and in the queue.
yeah, yeah, in the queue in the jail cell parts, and on the ride where you would see some of the pirates. Some of them had been put in with real people,
Mm-hmm.
real cast members. So it was kind of neat to see them, and
And
it was
they
kind
spoke
of
to
fun to
you.
yeah, it was kind of fun to talk to the guys that were in the jail cells.
Mm-hmm. And
So
I remember on the ride, I don't remember quite what was said, but it was a pun. And I think the male pirate in the ride said something silly, and the girl was like, she looked down, saw you, and was like, well, that's just Tweedledum.
I forgot about that, but
I loved it. It
that's
was
cool.
so
I'm glad
funny.
you remember that. I'm glad you remember that. um, so it was just fun. It's really neat that they go to that and make some changes, for these special events. And
Hmm.
then the third one we talked about was Space Mountain, and Space Mountain was really just like normal Space Mountain, except it was really, really dark, and it felt like we were. It felt because it was so dark, felt like they really had the speed ramped up, even though we know that Space Mountain is actually the slowest roller coaster on any Walt Disney World property. But it was still cool, and it felt like it was really, really fast, and it was so pitch black you couldn't see hardly anything.
And I didn't actually get the chance to go on Space Mountain that time, but I thought I remembered Jagan telling me that in the Disneyland one, they actually make it so that there's a ghost chasing you through the ride.
Oh wow, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure about that one, but I thought I
That's
remembered her
uh,
saying that.
that would be cool. That would be
Mm-hmm.
cool. So those three examples are just three examples of the rides that we have, and how they make little subtle changes just to make them a little bit more interesting. Um, and then of course some of the other things that are really neat about Not So Scary Halloween Party, beyond the trick or treating and beyond the rides, is the parades. And absolutely, bar none, one of the one of the biggest draws for going to a Not So Scary Halloween Party is to see the Boo to You parade. Sophie, you want to talk about it a little bit?
I would love to talk about it, especially with the prelude that comes before the parade, but I'll save that for a little bit later. The Boo to You parade is a special Halloween parade, and it is, I hardly know how to describe it. I love it so much. But of course, it's Halloween themed, and it's basically like the Haunted Mansion came out of its ride and started partying with all of the rest of the Disney characters. There's Clarabelle, there's Goofy, there's Mickey on top of a giant pumpkin, and I think there's Minnie too. And they're all dressed in Halloween costumes. There's the Mad Hatter, there's the pirates, there's even gravediggers. And the thing that makes it so special is that you know when it's about to happen because the headless horseman comes by right before, and it is so amazing. It goes through the legend of Sleepy Hollow really quickly, yes, and then the headless horseman walks down the road on his horse with his pumpkin head in his hand.
Yeah, it is so cool.
Oh my
It's
gosh, I
so
love
cool
it.
because that headless horseman is just like right there, and it's like, how are they doing that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the Boo to you has repeating over and over and over again, kind of a verse, and when you're doing it, it really gets stuck in your head a little bit.
Trick. Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm looking up the Headless Horseman right now because I want to show it to people.
Okay,
People
but
do not
it's
understand how amazing it is.
yeah, but it's really neat to see the parade and just take it in, and because it's like I said, because it's a um a special event, um you know the the seating for the parade is a little bit easier to get. You don't have to worry about as much about being packed and squished in with everyone else. um so it's kind of neat.
Hmm. It is, although people actually do try their best to get as close as they can.
Right.
So it is a little bit crowded, but not that crowded because there are less people overall.
Yeah. um and then some of the other things that are worth making an idea for maybe whether or not you should do the party or not um, is the fireworks and the special shows with the castle.
Yep, as you
So
can see, I have the castle right now up as my background, and I really love it. And it will look like this a lot during the night, and there will also be other ways that it looks like this. There's a way where it looks like it's made up of skeletons. It's really something cool to see, and pictures don't do it the justice that it deserves.
right, right. Oh, and another thing about the Buddha U parade that's really cool is the seeing some of the ghosts from the haunted mansion
Hmm.
out in the parade, and dancing and all that.
Yep.
So
Grave diggers, some of them are
yeah,
ballrooms. I think there's even a Constance Hatchaway in there.
I think
And for
there's
those of you who are, Constance Hatchaway is my favorite ghost of them all, and she is the Black Widow in the attic.
yeah. And then and the fun thing about the not so scary Halloween party is that it says so in the name. It's not so scary. You're not gonna go there and be, if you have a little one that's 6, they're not gonna be terrified by something they see that they're gonna, have traumatic dreams or something, nightmares at night. They're gonna
Hmm.
have fun, and that's what's really cool about it is that it's all about having fun. It's not about how badly you can scare someone. So
Definitely.
so
Definitely.
and just a reminder that the not so scary Halloween party is exclusive to the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. So for you won't find
Epcot
it for
or
Epcot or Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Nope.
Yeah, it is exclusive to Magic Kingdom, just like the Very Merry Christmas Party is as well. So so
Hmm.
that's good to know. But there's a lot to see and do, and I don't know that we've even scratched the surface of it and all that. But some of the fun things that we had was just being able to just see all the other people in their costumes, and how many people were like, wow, you all are great in your costumes, and it was, those sorts of things just kind of made the night, because
Oh,
everyone was having so much
definitely.
fun. It
Hmm.
was all about having fun. So,
We even saw someone who was the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
mhm, yeah.
And then,
And
of course, when you guys were in the bathroom, this this one made my night. It was the first time someone recognized my costume, and there was this little girl. She was dressed up like Ariel, and you guys were in the bathroom, and I was sitting out there waiting for you, and she was like, "Mommy, Mommy, that girl looks like a bunny." It was so cute.
there you go. It was. It really was. Of course, I didn't see it, but that would be really neat.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, so if obviously this year they're not doing the Halloween parties and they're not doing the Christmas parties and all that. So I thought that's why it makes sense to talk about what we saw last year,
Mhm.
um, because it was October 4th, so it was last week, this time last year when we actually were at the party. So it's kind of
Yeah.
neat that we had that opportunity to take advantage of that and do the
Yeah.
party. So
It was very fun, and I will say that I will miss it this year.
yeah,
I don't necessarily need to dress up for it again, but the party itself is so fun to go to, even when you're not dressed up, and it's just great.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's worth going to.
Mhm.
So so I think that um, wraps up all the thoughts I have on the party. Is there anything that I missed talking about, Soph?
The Hocus Pocus show. There was this show out in front of the castle. It
Right.
wasn't a fireworks show, I don't think, but it happened while we were there at the Halloween party, and the three Sanderson sisters from the movie Hocus Pocus, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, shame on you, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
They came out and they threw a villains Halloween party in front of
that's
the
right.
castle, and it
That's
was so much fun to see. There was the Oogie Boogie Man, there was Maleficent, there was the Evil Queen,
hmm
and most importantly of all, they sang I Put a Spell on You, so it's great.
yeah, yeah. You're right, Sophie. I can't believe I forgot about that. But
Mhm.
but it was fun and it was a good a good show, um, a good spectacular, I guess we'll
Mhm.
call it. So so there's a lot of little things that go on, or not so little things too, with the parades and whatnot, and the fireworks show. So for this year, obviously since they're not having it, if you're missing not being there, probably some good ideas would be um, to go ahead and look up some of these things on YouTube. You know,
Mhm.
look up and find someone who did a video of the Booty Parade or the fireworks show or the Hocus Pocus villain spectacular. Things like that. So so maybe you can watch them with your kids and say, oh, well, look at them, and so forth. And then maybe next year you'll be at a point where they'll be having it and you'll want to go.
Uh-huh. And
So
if you do go next year, hit us up and let us know what your costumes are, because we would love to imagine what you all look like, and who knows, maybe I'll find the time to go and see you guys.
yeah, exactly. That would be fun to have a meetup one night at a not so scary Halloween party,
Mhm.
and maybe say, hey, on the road with Mickey is there. Come find us. We're wearing this or whatever.
Yep.
So
Well, all right. I
okay,
think that pretty much wraps up the feature topic for this week.
yep.
Anything else, Daddy?
Not for the feature topic. So let's move on to this day in Disney history for October 12th, Sophie.
I would love to. I have three things to share with you guys today, and none of them are Halloween themed, unfortunately. Yeah, there's actually not a lot of stuff going on October 12th in Disney history. Maybe that should change in the coming years. But
Yeah.
I'll start up with 1955. So, October 12th, 1955, the Mickey Mouse Club airs on ABC TV. Today is Anything Can Happen Day. It is Season 2, Episode 5, The Adventures of Mickey Mouse. The 26th overall episode of Disneyland airs on TV. Walt Disney will discuss in this episode the career of Mickey Mouse and present several cartoons. And unfortunately, that's all I really know about it from what was given. But it sounds really cool to me.
Me too. I think that'd be neat to see.
hmm Next up, 40 years later, in 1995, this one is a lot more exciting to me, just because it's closer to when I was born. Walt Disney World will welcome its 500 millionth guest, and her name is Michelle Davis.
Wow. That's just blows my mind. That many people.
And didn't it open in 1971?
It did.
So let's see.
24 years, 500 million.
Yep. And
That's
still going strong.
It's still going strong. Yep.
And then in 2007, a ceremony announcing the 2008. Oh, Siri, what are you doing? Sorry, Siri got pulled up and I don't know why. In 2007, a ceremony announcing the 2008 Walt Disney World Ambassadors was held at Animal Kingdom on October 12th. T.C. Newman from College and Career Start Recruiting, who began her Disney career in Disneyland Entertainment and has been at the Walt Disney World Resort since 2001, and Carrie McPherson from Walt Disney Parks and Resorts Sales, who joined the Disney team 13 years prior through the college program at the Magic Kingdom's Outdoor Foods were chosen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about the ambassador program. So
I don't know much about it either, but maybe it's something I should look into.
that'd be neat to look into it. I did a quick little math, Sophie, and for Michelle Davis and the 500 millionth guest,
Yeah.
if you factor that in by the 24 years, that works out to about 20,833,333 guests per year. That's a lot of people to go through the Disney parks, isn't it?
I'm more impressed that you managed to get that answer that quickly, Daddy.
Well, it's simply a calculator program.
Oh, for a second I thought you did it in your head, and I was like, why on earth did I not come to you for help when I was in calculus?
Yeah, no. But anyway, that's a lot of people.
That is a bunch of people. That is a huge bunch of people.
Well,
That's
changing
all.
topics.
Yep, that's all I have for Disney history today. Who's our Who's Who character?
Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. I have a very special movie, and the lead character for this movie is the initials MR, and they have a dog. And that's all the clues I'm giving you because you tend to know everything.
M.R. and they have a dog.
Yep. If you don't know, that's okay. I'll just tell everyone.
Yeah, I can't piece it off the top of my head.
The movie is Coco.
Oh! Miguel Rivera and his dog, Dante.
That's right. Miguel Rivera is our Who's Who character for the day. And you know what? Despite his family's baffling generations old ban on music, Miguel Rivera dreams of becoming an accomplished musician like his idol, Ernesto de la Cruz. Desperate to
Mm.
prove his talent, Miguel finds himself in the stunning and colorful land of the dead, following a mysterious chain of events. Along the way, he meets charming trickster Hector, and together they set off on an extraordinary journey to unlock the real story behind Miguel's family history. And that's really, it's such, I know everyone in the world has seen it, right, Sophie?
Oh, yes, but still,
But
the
if they
idea.
haven't,
Blissful ignorance. Go watch it and have your innocence shattered.
if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's as simple as that. But but I have one piece of did you know?
I'm
And it's not
listening.
much, and you probably know it anyway. Miguel comes from the town of Santa Cecilia, which is named after the patron saint of music. You knew
I
that, right?
did know that.
That's the only did you know I've got for Miguel or for
Hang on,
Coco for that matter.
you glitched out a bunch, but I did know about the Saint Cecilia of music.
Hmm. That's the patron
However, I
saint.
did not hear the second half of what you said.
I was saying that that's all I've got for who's who for Miguel. That's the
Oh.
only did you know.
Well, I have a did you know.
Go for it.
Did you know that we can guesstimate exactly the ages that Hector, Ernesto, and Imelda were when they died?
No, how?
Because this is what one of the directors said when they were working on Coco. Hector died when he was 21, Ernesto died when he was 42, and Imelda died in her late 70s.
Oh. Okay, so we're not guesstimating. It's just that that's what they told us.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what they told us.
Okay. Well, in continuing and wrapping up on our theme for the Not So Scary Halloween Party, my Walt Disney quote is about children. And he says, and I quote, "Why do we have to grow up? I know more adults who have the children's approach to life. They're people who don't give a hang what the Joneses do. You see them at Disneyland every time you go there. They are not afraid to be delighted with simple pleasures, and they have a degree of contentment with them, with what life has brought. Sometimes it isn't much either." And that's the kind of person I want to be. Someone who is content with what I've been given.
That's the kind of person I want to be as well.
Yeah. And that is my Walt Disney quote for this week. Um the last thing I want to talk about, Sophie and I, for everyone listening, we have decided that we are going to have a charity spotlight. And, a lot of other bigger and probably better podcasts than ours have been doing this, and YouTube channels have been doing this for a long time. And I thought, you know what? We've been blessed to be able to do this podcast, and we have a small following, and we enjoy what we're doing here. And so we're going to highlight, um, from now until the end of the year, we are going to highlight a special charity that has helped round out our family. And Sophie, um, you know as well as I do that we are going to be talking about the Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue, right?
Right, and for those of you who don't know, that is where we got both our beloved babies, one after the other, and they were both Goldens, and I miss River so much. Ever since I had to move, I've been missing him.
Yeah.
How is he?
Oh, River's doing awesome. He's
Good.
doing really well. He is. eating his food like he's supposed to. And in fact, this morning when I fed him after his walk, his morning walk, he didn't eat all his food, and we went upstairs to get ready for work. And when we came back, when he came up with us, and I said, if you want apple, you're gonna have to go eat your breakfast. And so, we were just getting ready for work, and he goes somewhere. He usually goes to the Steph's room and lies down. But when I came down after getting ready for work, he was sitting by his bowl. His food was all gone, and he was like, "Where's my apple?" Because River loves a good treat of apple. And
He's in
so
that phase.
so
He's
I'm
in
like,
that phase.
yeah. So it was really kind of cool. So he got half an apple this morning, just like he would if he eats his breakfast. So and
Hmm.
that helps him anyway. But
Yeah.
but before River, we had Reagan, who was a senior rescue, and they're both rescues. River was um, found in Carteret County, North Carolina, and we were fortunate enough to foster him and then adopt him after his treatments for heartworm were done. Um,
Hmm.
but the Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue does excellent work, and their website is goldenrescuenc.org. And the charity, it's a 501c3. It helps abandoned golden retrievers to find their forever home. And you know, like Sophie said, we used them twice. Once for our boy Reagan, and the second time with our boy River, and they're absolutely wonderful. So
Hmm.
if anyone is interested in donating to their organization, the place you can do so is at Golden Retriever Rescue. I'm sorry, let me start over. The place to do so is at goldenrescuenc.org slash support dash NRGRR. And they have a lot of different ways you can donate. You can donate to specific things, to general donation or whatever. And we're going to make a donation as a family as well to benefit them. So if anyone's interested, look them up. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to shoot us an email, info@ontheroadwithmickey.com, and I'll be happy to talk more about and even share a couple pictures of our boys that we have from when we had them.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
have some on my desktop, but I don't want to change my background picture anymore.
no. So so reach out to us. Let us know if you're interested in helping out this really good organization. And if you are in the Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina area, and you are looking for a new rescue to maybe add to your family, then give them a thought, give them a look,
Hmm.
because they only they only adopt out dogs to a 100-mile radius from Raleigh. So that's the only drawback to putting this all over the internet, is that you have to be local to this area to be able
Yeah.
to get one of their dogs. But they are a super good organization, and I highly recommend um, want to um, if you want to support them, then I think you could not go wrong by doing so. So so anyway, that is our charity spotlight, and we're going to focus on them every week. And um, at the end of the year, we're going to, move on and maybe look at a different charity. But but I hope that this helps them out in some small way. So
Hmm.
all right. Well, just a reminder that On the Road with Mickey is sponsored by Pixie Vacations by Mike Ellis and Tech Solutions NC. If you have any computing or travel needs, reach out to them. Tech Solutions is found at techsolutionsnc.com or on Facebook, and you can reach Mike for travel needs at mike@pixievacations.com or on Facebook at Pixie Vacations by Mike Ellis. Sophie, as always, thank you for making me look good and improving the quality of our show.
Oh, hush up. Your
And
shoulders are invincible, Daddy. There we go.
And as always, thank you for co-hosting with me.
Of course. I had so much fun. This makes my week most times.
Okay, great. And we will
See you
see
on the
you on the
road.
road. Bye.
Bye.